Y'all ready to move forward?
Yes, Your Honor, plaintiff's
For the
ready.
defendant? Ready to move forward? Okay, let's do introductions for, oh, sorry, do we have it all clear?
Yes.
Okay, just want to check. Okay, plaintiff, if we could just do very brief introductions.
Yes, Your Honor, good afternoon. My name is Isa Kidwai. Today I'm joined by Hank Standard,
Good afternoon.
Zainab Syed,
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
and Hannah Moore.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Collectively, Your Honor, we represent the plaintiff, Ms. Eleanor Bully.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, for the defendant?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Bernardo Encinas, and I'm joined at council table by Lina Jindali
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
and Fadil Adeyate.
Good afternoon.
Together, we represent the defendant in today's case, Tristan Nichols.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, any housekeeping from the plaintiff before we get started?
Yes, Your Honor, before we get into today's trial, we wanted to draw Your Honor's attention to a relevant precedent. Today we're representing Ms. Bully in a trial regarding her prenuptial agreement with the defendant. The precedent that we're going to look at is going to be Kim versus Guarini Moraldi. It's on page 1 of your case law tab. Would Your Honor like a summary?
If you think it's important, but let's keep this short because it's housekeeping.
Yes, Your Honor. What this precedent outlines is that a prenuptial agreement can be invalidated if a defendant violates a contained infidelity clause. In this case, both parties have agreed that the defendant's prenuptial agreement did contain an infidelity clause.
All right, thank you. Any other housekeeping?
That's it from us.
All right, for the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. In terms of case law, Sharpe v. Olmstead says that if a marriage is proven by preponderance of the evidence to be contractual, then that infidelity clause is moot and the prenuptial agreement still applies.
All
And
right,
that's all for the defense.
okay, all right. Plaintiff, any opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
May I proceed?
Please.
When you break your promise, you pay the price. I want to take you back to January 1st of this year. A young woman named Eleanor Bully is standing in the lobby of a hotel, and she's feeling confused. You see, she just found a key card from that hotel in her husband's coat pocket. But she knows he wasn't supposed to be staying. He was supposed to be at home with her. So she walks over to the elevator, goes up to floor 1, walks to room 101, swipes the card. Doesn't work. So she tries it on room 102, doesn't work. Tries it on room 103, doesn't work again. Room after room, floor after floor, she can't get it to work. Until it finally opens. And what she sees inside that hotel room is devastating. She learns that room belongs to a woman named Gail, her husband's ex-girlfriend. That's when Miss Bully realizes that her husband, Tristan Nichols, has been cheating on her. And members of the jury, when the defendant cheated on Miss Bully, he wasn't just breaking her trust, no. He was breaking a promise that he made her. And when you break your promise, you pay the price. See, before the couple got married, they signed a prenup. All that prenup said is that they would split their assets evenly. But if there was infidelity in the marriage, if somebody cheated on the other person, that contract was null and void. It was all up in smoke. We're here today because Ms. Bully filed for divorce and is seeking to invalidate that prenup. As the plaintiff, we have to prove to you that the defendant violated that infidelity clause. We have to prove that to you by a preponderance of the evidence. All that means is more likely than not. One word, one photo, anything that tips the scale slightly in our favor. That's a burden we take seriously. And it's a burden we're going to meet by calling 2 witnesses to the stand. You see, you're actually going to get to meet Ellie Bully today. She's going to tell you how she fell in love with the defendant. How they were married happily for 4 years. Until last year, when he started acting cold. He started drifting from her. He started disappearing over the weekends. And our second witness is going to explain what he was doing when he disappeared. We're going to call the defendant's affair partner to the stand. Her name's Gail Milky. She's going to be up front and admit she had an affair with the defendant. She'll tell you about how they hid that affair, how they kept secrets, how they would go on secret trips together weekend after weekend, hiding it from Miss Bull. She's going to tell you the defendant talked about planning their future together, all while he was still married to Miss Bull. But this trial, it's not going to end there. You're actually going to get a chance to meet the defendant today. We expect he's going to try to tell you that this relationship with Miss Bully, this marriage, it was all a contract. It was all business. It was never about love. But members of the jury, I'm going to trust that you see this case as simple. The defendant and my client fell in love 5 years ago. They got married. The defendant promised my client that he would never cheat on her. But he did. The evidence will show he broke that promise. And today, he pays the price for what he did. We ask you'll find from Miss Milky. Thank you.
Any opening from the defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead. Proceed whenever you're ready.
May it please the court. It was a merger, not a marriage. Members of the jury, opposing counsel just missed something big when they told you about this case. See, even though they told you about the marriage, about the divorce, about the prenup, about the time at the hotel, they missed the most important fact in this case. None of it was real. Members of the jury, you're gonna learn today that the relationship between Mr. Bully and Miss Nichols, it didn't exist because they loved each other. They didn't. It existed because it was mutually beneficial for the both of them. You see, members of the jury, these two people, Miss Bully and Mr. Nichols, when they met each other, they were both at a very rough place in their life. The plaintiff, she was a struggling, starving artist who could barely make it in a city where nobody would look at her twice. Mr. Nichols, he had a bad reputation. Irresponsible, reckless, can't commit to a woman, can't commit to the family company. But then one day, Mr. Nichols gets an idea. 2 birds, 1 stone. If the 2 of them get hitched, the plaintiff can get the attention she needs to boost her career. He can get the image he needs to boost his. They shake hands. It's a deal, a contract. Then, members of the jury, Mr. Nichols gets his promotion. The money starts coming in for the plaintiff. It all works. It works until it starts not to for the plaintiff. She realizes that she's not getting everything she needs. She doesn't just want money. She wants love. She doesn't just want financial stability. She wants someone to care for her, and that's something that Mr. Nichols just couldn't do, so she wants an out. So she looks to the prenuptial agreement that she made with Mr. Nichols, and she realizes a way to get out and secure her future. Divorce. And that's what brought us here today, members of the jury. The plaintiff is suing Mr. Nichols and trying to invalidate their prenuptial agreement. That means the plaintiff today, they have a burden of proof. They have to prove it's more likely than not that Mr. Nichols cheated on the plaintiff. But today the judge will instruct you the law is clear. If the purpose of a relationship is not genuine love, if the 2 people don't actually have romantic feelings for each other, then it does not matter at all. If somebody cheated, that prenup cannot be invalidated. So today, it'll be the plaintiff's job to disprove that they were in a contract relationship. It'll be the plaintiff's job to demonstrate that that love was actually real, and that is something they will not be able to do today. And to show you that, we're going to ask that you focus on 3 simple questions. Why would the plaintiff get into a contract relationship? Why would Mr. Nichols, and what proof does the plaintiff have that the love was actually real? And we'll start with the first question. Today, you're going to learn how badly the plaintiff needed to be in that relationship. Her best friend, Miss Ash Sanders, will take the stand and tell you before that relationship, the plaintiff was broke, struggling to pay rent, struggling to stay afloat. But after, foreign trips, designer clothes, her paintings in galleries, the life she wanted, and when she was asked about it, she said, hey, love just isn't the point right now. And that'll lead us to that second question. Why would Mr. Nichols get into a contract relationship? Today, Mr. Nichols, he's going to take the stand. He's going to tell you that when he met the plaintiff, his back was up against the wall. He needed to do something. It didn't start from a place of love. It never became love. And that'll lead us to the third question. What proof does the plaintiff have that it was love? Today, you're going to learn that every date, every instance that those 2 people were with each other, it was photographed, documented, paparazzi, the press, everything. But only one picture of them kissing. No hand holding, no hugging. They're going to try to convince you that there was a real relationship. You're going to see that it wasn't. That's why at the end of today's trial, we'll ask that you don't invalidate Mr. Nichols' prenuptial agreement. Thank you.
Plaintiff, call your first witness.
Yes, Your Honor, the plaintiff calls Gail Milky to the stand.
You can get started whenever you're ready.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Gail Milky.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an actress, currently in between projects, so you might recognize me as smiling patient number 6 from the Mucinex commercials. It's perhaps my most memorable role.
How are you involved in today's case?
Right, yes. I had an affair with Tristan Nichols, and I've been told to come here and tell you about it. I'm surprised, given how often the details run in Us Weekly, but a subpoena is a subpoena.
Before we get into your relationship with Tristan, I want to start at the very beginning. How long have you known Tristan Nichols?
Since we were children. Tristan and I grew up in the same circles. My family owns a beverage conglomerate. His is in the food business, and everybody knows food and drink go together.
Were the 2 of you close?
We were friendly. I always thought that there could be something there, but we really only saw each other at galas, conventions, that sort of thing. Do our little dance and then go our separate ways.
When did that change?
Tristan agreed to start seeing me in 2020. And when I say that, I should say agreed to be seen with me. Apparently his parents had given him an ultimatum. Find a wife or say goodbye to being CEO. From an optics perspective, I was the natural choice.
So what was your relationship like?
Our parents would schedule dates. We would show up, be photographed. I was beautiful, he was polite, everything was perfect. But, of course, it didn't last.
Why not?
He met somebody else. Eli Bully. It was at a gala in 2021, because everything happens in galas. And Ellie spilled champagne on me. I went to change, and when I came back, they were talking. Even from across the room, I could see there were sparks.
When did your relationship with Tristan end?
A few months after that, February 2022. Valentine's Day, actually, because Tristan really has a knack for timing. I should have seen it coming, but I didn't. Tristan's always been a bit of a blind spot for me, I suppose.
Did he tell you why he was ending things with you?
He said that he was in love. Obviously not with me. He and Ellie started dating publicly shortly after, so it wasn't hard to put the pieces together.
I want to talk about the next time Tristan entered your life. You told us about an affair with Tristan. When did that begin?
Valentine's Day this past year. I hadn't seen him because of Valentine's Day 4 years ago, but the universe has a sense of humor.
What happened when you saw him?
It was at a movie premiere. I had stepped out to get some air, and there he was, leaning against the wall in the alley, smoking and smiling at me. He asked me how I'd been, he gave me a hug, and I laughed because the answer to that question was quite long. It had been 4 years. So we spent the whole night talking.
Did the two of you stay in contact after that?
We did. I told myself that it was innocent. Just texting, just calling, just coffee, just friends. But we only saw each other in person when Ellie was out of town. He only called late at night. We weren't friends. I didn't want to be friends, and it made me nauseous every time I thought about it.
How far did things go between the two of you?
It just sort of built. We saw each other for coffee, and then it was weekends away. We'd fly to Europe and pretend to be other people, and then... I'm sorry, how much detail do I really have to get into here?
We need to understand the extent of the affair, Miss Milky. What did the two of you do together?
We kissed. We held each other, we talked. And I know it sounds stupid, but that was the worst part. I was so completely vulnerable with him. I felt like Tristan saw me in a way I had been waiting to be seen my whole life. And I saw him. I loved what I saw.
You said you knew it was wrong. Did you ever tell anyone else about your affair?
No. I kept it from everyone. I couldn't even tell my mom. She and Dad got divorced when I was a kid because he cheated, and now I was somebody's other woman. She would have hated me if she knew.
We need to talk about how things finally ended between you and Tristan. When was the last time you saw him?
New Year's Eve. His family was throwing a gala at a hotel again, so I got a room. I left a key card for him at the front desk, and we met there. He kissed me goodbye outside of the hotel, and the next morning I woke up and saw that a bartender had posted a video online about seeing us kiss.
Did you ever talk to Tristan again after that night?
I tried everything. I called, I texted, I sent letters. He never spoke to me again. He told me he loved me, and then he was just gone.
How did the public react to all of this?
Even before the affair, the press had decided that I was the villain in Tristan and Ellie's love story. I was the girl he was almost forced to marry before he met the actual love of his life. Didn't matter what had actually happened between us, how either of us actually felt. I wasn't Ellie, so I wasn't right. And then I went and did exactly what they expected me to do.
And what was that?
I helped him cheat. I helped him break his promises. I tried to deny it, but nobody believed me. Why would they? I was playing my part to a T.
Did you ever tell Miss Bully what happened between you and her husband?
Yes. But even then, it wasn't for the right reasons. I did it because Ellie's connected in ways that I've never been. I did it for my career. I have been selfish and awful and a liar for years. And being here now doesn't change any of that, but at least I'm finally telling the truth.
Thank you, Ms. Milky. I have no further questions.
Cross.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead, see whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon, Ms. Milky.
Hello.
My name is Lena Jindali, and I have more questions for you on behalf of Mr. Nichols.
All right.
I want to start by talking about your relationship with Mr. Nichols. Because the two of you were once associated with each other, correct?
You could say that. Yes.
It was your parents who set the two of you up.
That's right.
But when you were together, well, Mr. Nichols, he wasn't very attentive to you, was he?
No. When we saw each other that first time, it was clear that Tristan was just doing it to please his parents.
During dates, he'd go on his phone.
That's right.
He'd ignore you.
He would.
He'd cancel plans with you.
Yes.
He wouldn't answer your calls.
Yes. Yes.
He stopped responding to your messages.
Yes.
Tristan, Mr. Nichols, he didn't make you feel wanted.
No.
right?
Especially not after he met Ellie.
But Miss Milky, you were hoping that would change.
Yes.
You hoped that Mr. Nichols would eventually come around.
I thought he would see it. How much I cared. But he didn't. He met Ellie, and that was that.
He ended that initial relationship with you, didn't he?
He did.
He fell for someone.
He did.
It was not you, Miss Milky.
No, ma'am.
Like you told us, it was a woman named Allie Bully.
That's right.
Mr. Nichols chose Miss Bully over you,
He did.
and that devastated you.
Yes.
You cried for a week.
I don't handle breakups well.
Well, Miss Milky, I want to talk a little bit more about you. Because you're an actress, like you told us on Direct.
I am.
You specialize in telling stories.
I like to think so.
So you make something fake look real, right?
Of course, that's what actors on stage are required to do.
Miss Milky, you believe that you're good at manipulating people.
As an actress, it's my job to draw on others' emotions.
But you believe you're good at manipulating people?
Yes.
So I want to talk about if you may have manipulated this jury. Because Mr. Nichols, he's the one that ended that relationship with you at first, right?
Yes? I'm sorry, what do you mean?
Well, Miss Milky, today you're telling us that Mr. Nichols, well, he just came back to you one day?
Yes,
After 4 years, he just came back?
we ran into each other and it was like I had always wanted it to be, just 4 years late.
So when you just ran into Mr. Nichols, he just decided to change his mind on you?
I don't know, people grow, people change. I was certainly a different person when we met again.
Well, Mr. Nichols, he wasn't romantically interested in you at first, was he?
Not when we saw each other the first time.
He wouldn't even give you attention.
No,
He wouldn't even pick up your call.
no.
And that just changed 4 years later.
I guess we grew into people that made sense.
That just changed 4 years later, Miss Milky? Is that what you're telling the members of the jury today?
I don't know how, but it did.
I want to back up just for 1 second, Miss Milky, because when Mr. Nichols ended your initial relationship, you felt publicly humiliated, didn't you?
Yes,
You felt like a background character,
I did.
that he ruined your dating life,
I couldn't get past it.
that it ruined your career as an actress.
Yes,
You hated his new relationship with Miss Bully, didn't you?
it hurt to see him with someone so
Miss-
happy.
Miss Milky, didn't you buy magazines featuring the two of them just so that you could burn them? Do I have that right?
Like I said, I don't handle breakups very well.
that a yes to my question?
Yes.
Miss Milky, you swore you would do everything in your power to get revenge.
Yes, I was heartbroken. I was so sad.
Is that a yes to my question?
Yes.
So let's talk about what you did. You reached out to Miss Bully
When?
after the relationship had ended.
After the affair.
You told Miss Bully that you and Mr. Nichols were involved in an affair.
I did.
You claimed this affair lasted for months.
Yes.
That you regularly texted and called Mr. Nichols.
That's right. Yes.
That you two went on vacations together.
Yes.
That you were physically intimate with one another.
Yes.
But Miss Milky, you don't have any photos of you two together.
Man, we were having an affair.
You never took a single picture of him?
No, we both knew that we weren't doing what we were supposed to do, so we were very discreet.
Well, surely you would text him, right?
That's right.
But you don't have a single text message with the man.
I deleted them.
So, you got no text messages to show the members of the jury about this affair?
I was with a married man, and I didn't want anyone to know, so I did my best to hide it.
Is that a yes to my question?
Yes.
You have no text messages?
No.
You don't have any proof of your relationship with Mr. Nichols, this affair?
Other than what I'm telling you now.
I just want to be clear, Miss Milky. It was you who reached out to Miss Bully, correct?
Yes.
After the affair. And part of the reason that you reached out to Miss Bully was because she had connections to directors that you wanted to work with.
Yes, like I said, I did it for the wrong reasons.
When you met, she offered to introduce you to casting directors.
She's been kinder to me than I deserve.
But she's only going to introduce you to those casting directors after this case is over? Did I have that right?
Yes.
And Miss Bully, you're testifying here for Miss Milky, you're testifying for Miss Bully today?
I was subpoenaed. I wouldn't be here at all if I had a choice, but I don't.
And you haven't had an acting call back in over a year.
No, ma'am. Thank you for the reminder.
Acting is your only source of income?
Yes.
And you're hoping that this trial helps your career.
If anything good can come out of this, I'll be grateful. It's been a nightmare since it started.
Is that a yes to my question?
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Milky. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Redirect.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Miss Milky, when you and Tristan were seeing each other the first time, why did he break things off with you?
He broke things off with me because he met Ellie. He told me that he was in love and that our arrangement was no longer necessary.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Recross.
No recross, Your Honor.
You can sit down, miss. Defendant, call your first witness.
Your Honor, defense calls Miss Ash Sanders to the stand.
All right. Take your seat, miss. You can begin your examination whenever you're ready.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Could you please introduce yourself to the members of the jury?
Hi, I'm Ash Sanders.
What do you do for a living, Miss Sanders?
I'm a bartender. I work for the Nichols Group. They're a liquor company, so I mainly do corporate events and serve the company alcohol.
Why are you in court today?
Ellie's been my best friend since we were little kids. It's my understanding I've been called here to testify against her. So, pardon me if I'm a little awkward during all this. You've been nothing but kind, but it's not fun to be stuck between your boss and your best friend.
I'll get you out of here as soon as possible, ma'am.
I appreciate that.
I want to start at the very beginning. How did you first meet Miss Ellie Bully?
I couldn't even tell you when we first met. It feels like I've known her my whole life. We grew up in a little town called Butler. We had a bowling alley, Dollar General, and that was pretty much it. She lived down the hall from me, same apartment complex. We've been best friends our whole lives. After high school, we even moved to the big city, a couple months from each other.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your relationship with Miss Bully?
I always had a soft spot for her. I loved her. Not in the way that friends love each other. But we didn't live in a place where that was possible. And so I kept that to myself for a very long time.
Did you ever know anything about Miss Bully's finances?
I'm sorry. I did. When we first moved here, she was really struggling. She was working 3 jobs at the time, and I'd come over to her house and the lights would be off because she couldn't pay the electricity bills. I was loaning her money, a lot of it.
Was that Miss Bully's financial situation when she met Mr. Nichols?
Yeah, it was. Back then she was joking about finding some sort of sugar daddy, and I thought it was a joke. I'm gonna make the famous Tristan Nichols my sugar daddy. Sounded like the most ridiculous thing ever. But then we met him at a gala, and turns out it wasn't so funny.
So when did Miss Bully and Mr. Nichols start dating?
In February 2022.
How long did they date before getting married?
They only dated 6 months before they started marrying. I remember thinking it seemed fast, and I was really trying to be happy for her, but I was worried for her.
Ms. Sanders, I'm going to ask you some questions to help the members of the jury understand their relationship dynamic.
Okay.
How did Miss Bully describe her relationship with Mr. Nichols?
She called him a business partner. That was all he ever was.
Did Miss Bully ever tell you that she loved her husband?
No. And I asked her, when they were going through the process of getting married, I didn't want to see her get married to someone she didn't love. I'd spent my whole life loving her, and even if it couldn't be me, I was hoping that she'd find someone who made her happy. And so I asked her if she loved him, and she told me love is not the point of this relationship. It just hurt, that she choose that life over what I could give her.
Did Mr. Nichols ever end up providing for Miss Bully?
He did. We went from sharing a cup of ramen together on the couch to her being an ambassador for Gucci. She was on the cover of magazines. Art was in every show. Look, I might not like Tristan, but he did provide for her.
Do you know how Miss Bully and Mr. Nichols' relationship ended?
Yeah. Gail called me one night, said she wanted out of the whole thing, and so she came over to my apartment and tried to hash it out. She said she thought that Tristan was cheating, and she wanted my help to try to figure out what was happening.
So what'd you guys plan?
She asked me to go and find evidence to try to track him down, to follow him, and she's my best friend. I said yes. I tried. I tried really hard. I got a job working bartending so that I could be around him. I asked people around him. I looked through his trash. I wanted to make her happy. I wanted to find out that he was cheating. But I didn't.
How did Miss Bully react when you couldn't find any proof of cheating?
She started screaming at me, saying that the reason that I didn't find anything is because I was lying, because I was in love with her, and I started screaming back. It was years of built up emotion, and I told her how much I had loved her and that I was wanted to. She told me she was done with me. And that was the end of our friendship. Best friend I'd ever had. Because I wasn't willing to lie.
Miss Sanders, have you talked to Miss Bully since?
No. I haven't. I haven't seen her since then.
Thank you, Miss Sanders. Nothing further.
Cross.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead. You can start whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon, Miss Sanders.
Good afternoon.
I want to get a little deeper into the relationship between you and Ellie. You told us that you guys have been best friends since childhood, correct?
We have been.
And as you told us, you loved her very much.
I still do.
But what you didn't tell us was that right before she got married, you actually confessed your feelings to her.
She came to my work one night and told me that Tristan had proposed, and it was like something snapped in me. I couldn't watch it happen. I couldn't keep it a secret for any longer, and so I told her everything. I told her that she shouldn't marry him, that I actually loved her.
Despite that, she turned you down.
She told me that she loved me, but not in the way that I wanted her to.
And that hurt you deeply.
Yeah.
Because you've done a lot for Ellie.
Yeah.
For instance, you give her money when she was struggling financially.
We've been through a lot of hard times together.
Even when you yourself were struggling financially, you'd still provide for her.
Yeah.
Sitting here today, this is the first time in your life you've ever had a stable income.
Yeah. Ellie and I didn't really come from money. We were scrappy.
And the first time you have a stable income, well, that's because of the defendant.
I work for his company.
This is your first full-time job.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, now that we know the defendant's providing you a stable income, I want to talk about the outcome you want for this case. You want Ellie to lose this trial.
Look, I was not choosing to come here. Y'all sent me a letter to get me here. I didn't want to be here.
I understand that, Miss Sanders, but now that you are here, you want Ellie to lose this trial.
Look, it seems like to me my facts go towards Tristan, so sure.
I just need a yes for the record. That's a yes. You want her to lose this trial.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I need to keep a clean record. That's a yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And as a part of this trial, you are testifying today.
Yes.
And in preparation for your testimony, you prepared an affidavit.
Yes, that's true.
And while you were preparing this affidavit, you actually had some help.
I mean, yeah, the attorneys reached out to me. This is my first time in a court building. I didn't know how everything worked.
Well, you didn't just have help from attorneys. You had help from Tristan Nichols.
Yeah, he was the people who was reaching out to me, and so he told me in an affidavit you include everything you possibly can think of in there.
He sat right down by your side and he walked you through the entire process.
That's true.
He told you the exact type of information you put in your affidavit.
He said try to include everything you think could possibly be. Better to include something than leave it out.
Now, sitting here today after his help, you think he deserves to win this trial.
I do.
Because if Ellie loses, you know she loses everything.
I don't think that's what's going on here.
Don't let me put words in your mouth. You would say if she loses today, she loses everything.
I mean, it's a divorce proceeding. This is seeing mainly how his money gets split up.
Is it your testimony today that if she loses, she doesn't lose everything?
I mean, she loses access to his money.
I need a yes or no. If she loses today, she loses everything.
Sure.
Again, for the record, that's a yes.
Yes.
And if she loses everything, well then you get what you've always wanted.
Why would I want my best friend to lose everything?
Well, you want her to be the only, you want yourself to be the only person she has to turn to. Isn't that correct?
Look, sure, I do, but I don't want to see Ellie go through this heartbreak like this.
That's a yes to my question. If she loses today, you will be the only person for her to turn to.
Sure.
Am I need a clean record? That's a yes.
I'm sorry, yes.
I have no further questions.
Redirect.
No redirect, Your Honor. I just asked them Ms. Sanders be allowed to step down.
You can step down, miss.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take just a couple minute break while we fill out our ballots on these first two witnesses. If somebody needs to take a quick restroom break, you're welcome to do that. Please make it quick. If we could do 4 minutes, please.